It is extremely cold out here today. I think it's like 25 right now. But that's not going to stop us from attempting a bit of a little photography mission here. So I'm back in the Red River Gorge, and my hopeful goal for today is to get to and photograph Creation Falls and possibly even Rock Bridge, which are both in the same general area. The challenge is normally it would be really a pretty trivial task to get to these spots. You can park pretty close to them and take the Rock Bridge trail out and be there fairly quickly in just a couple miles. The problem is all the gravel roads in this area are closed for the winter as a result of all the rain and melting snow and such. They closed the gravel roads to help protect them from getting giant potholes and make it easier for them to maintain them. What that means for us, oops, I'm losing my recording device here. What this means for us is we can't take the easy route, and we instead have to take the much longer route, which the shortest long route I could find, if that makes sense, is by hiking in on the Wildcat Trail, which is what I'm currently hiking, and taking that to the Swift Camp Creek Trail, and then taking the Swift Camp Creek Trail down to the Rock Bridge area. We'll see how this goes. It's not a super far hike, but I think I estimated it to be around 13-ish miles total to get there and back. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's freezing cold. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys some more here in a little bit. So the Wildcat Trail seems to follow what appears to be, I guess, an old road for a very short period of time. And then something kind of interesting. Apparently up there is private property. Not really sure what that is, but our Wildcat Trail kind of splits off right here, I would assume. In fact, I know it does. I see the blazes. Yeah, wasn't really expecting to come across that in the middle of the cliffy wilderness here. Just a little bit of private property. Yeah, so I don't know what that is. But how cool would it be to own like a cabin or something right there? Well, it means we're making some progress anyway. We want to continue down this way, of course, towards the Rock Bridge Trail. Check this spot out. Ice on there. Ooh, look at that. It's completely encased in ice. Somebody do correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that little cascade right there is what is known as Pooch's Turtle Falls. Kind of a funny name. Pretty sure that's what it is. I know that's not the best view of it. I know somehow you can get to the bottom of it, because I've seen pictures of it from down there, but I don't see any discernible way to do it. I mean, I could probably get a route down if I really tried. But I'm gonna be 110% honest with you. I'm not that invested in that photo right now. It's not what I'm here for. And quite frankly, I don't know that it'd make a great image. I think the falls itself can make a good image, but I just don't know that today's conditions really lend themselves to that image. Well, okay, you know what? Scratch that. It looks like I can get down right here pretty easily. So give me a minute, let me see if I can't get a better view anyway. Well, it's got me a little bit closer to him anyway, but I can't seem to find a way to get all the way down. I checked over there and I still didn't see any really good clear way down, unfortunately. Oh, almost slipped down the hill. That would have been a bad day. That would have been a quick way down to it though, wouldn't it? I don't think that's the quick way I'm looking for though. But yeah, I don't know. I know there's a way around here somewhere, but as I said before, I'm not really that interested in finding it. So there it is, Pooch's Turtle Falls. One of these days, it is cool. So one of these days, possibly in spring, I'll plan to come back and try to get a photo of it. Not today though, as I already said, I'm running all sorts of behind schedule. So, climb back up here, get back on the trail and continue towards Rock Bridge. So I guess this is the trail? I'm not really sure. Pretty sure I've been following the trail and this is what it leads to. Yeah. I'm not so sure. At first I thought I was coming up on a stream crossing, but I think my stream crossing is actually the trail. This is one of those times where it'd be really nice to see a blaze. But I don't see one. One thing that's giving me a little bit of confidence that this is indeed the trail is that these logs are sawed through. Not sure why anyone would saw through logs unless it was on a trail, right? That makes logical sense, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. When I say this trail, I don't see a blaze. That's one thing about hiking a wilderness area. This is the Clifty Wilderness. Trails aren't very well marked sometimes, but that definitely looks like the trail. So I guess I'm on the right track, which is always good. But I'm hoping this is indeed one of the stream crossings on the map. I'm a little planning this trip. I was a little bit worried about all the stream crossings because of how cold it is. I don't want to get soaked. That wouldn't be terribly safe in these temperatures. So if those are the stream crossings I have to deal with, then I'll be in good shape. Then the only other question will be, can I actually get a shot of Creation Falls without getting wet? Thank God. Whew. I didn't think I was ever going to get here. 1/4 mile to Rock Bridge. Whew. There it is. Rock Bridge. The only thing that sucks is I don't see a shot here worth taking the camera out for. I think there's one if I was willing to go out into the creek there, but in this weather, not happening. So I don't know. Maybe from the other side here there'll be a shot. It's really, well, those were some loud birds. You probably couldn't hear it. But it's really going to kind of bum me out if I don't get a shot. But it looks more promising from this side. So, let's take a look. Yeah, I think we can get a shot here somehow. Even if the shot we get isn't, you know, like a portfolio-worthy shot. We went through a lot to get out here, so I want a shot of it. Alright, my GoPro's giving me a ton of problems. It keeps saying SD card error. It's cleared itself most of the time. I'm hoping that all the footage I filmed on it is usable. But I'm back on the iPhone for now because it's really acting up. I'm hoping it's just because it's cold. But right here is Creation Falls. Up there is where the actual like overlook is. And it looks like if I'm careful, I can sort of hop my way across these rocks to that little sand area there without getting wet. And that should be a good viewpoint. So I'm gonna put this camera away and I'm gonna try to do this without getting soaked. It's the kind of weather where getting soaked would be dangerous. I got way too far to go for that. So let's see how this goes. So there she is, up a little bit closer. I hope you can hear me over this waterfall. I've got a composition set up. I'm going to try to explain what I've done here. So if you can see it, you probably can't. Oh, there's the composition. I know there's a lot of reflection. I've got it set on just aperture priority, f16, manual focus, image stabilizer off, all that good stuff, of course. This gives me an exposure. It's calculating an exposure of about 1/4 of a second. So I'm gonna try it without my ND filter first. All I have, the only ND filter I own is a 10-stop ND filter, and that might be a little bit much. I'm gonna try one with it, just to be clear. I'm gonna try a few different things here, a few different compositions, because I worked for this to get here today. But yeah, let's see what we come up with. Okay, so I took the shot without the ND filter. I got a little bit of blur in the water. I think I'm happy with it, but I definitely want to try it with the 10-stop. I would love to do it with a 6-stop, but I don't own one. That needs to go on my list of things to purchase. But what I've done for the 10-stop, I put it on manual exposure mode, and I have an app on my phone to help me determine how long to do this, so I don't have to do the math in my head. And it ends up the 1/4 second without a 10-stop. Once you put the 10-stop on, it works out to be about 4 minutes, 10-second exposure. So it's a long exposure. So I'm gonna have to use my phone to time it. I'm gonna have to put it in bulb mode and time it that way. Alright, so I got that long exposure, which I should have put up on the screen unless it turned out horribly. Now I'm trying just a slightly different angle here. I don't like this one as much, so I'm not going to bother with the ND filter this time. It's getting kind of late anyway, and I want to start heading out. But what I am going to do is I'll just bump my aperture up to max, and then I'll back off just a little bit to help reduce the distortion. This is just going to make it to where it'll make it to where I get as much blur as is humanly possible without an ND filter. It didn't make that much of a difference with the exposure, but I think it's pretty nice anyway, and if it turns out, I'll pop it up on the screen. I'd really love to stay and hang out at that waterfall and photograph it all day, but I still have a very long way to go back to the car, and just staying still for a little bit. I am freezing. I didn't realize how much I had sweat during that hike, but it was apparently a lot. I'm freezing now. I do have warmer clothes, don't worry, but no point in sweating more on the hike back. Speaking of which, let's get one last view of Creation Falls with a tree in the middle of it. I decided to take my chances doing the road hike. It's probably longer, but I'm praying that it will be easier, and as a result, take a significantly less time. So, let's see. See a parking area right there. Looking at my map here, it looks like it should be this parking area right here. Which means we just have this little stretch till we hit 715. Then we gotta go up to here in 715, this parking area. So I mean, let me adjust the camera. I mean, it's not exactly a trivial distance left, but whew, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. There's light at the end of the tunnel, I think. I gotta say, I really underestimated this hike when I planned it. But as long as I got some images. If I got some images, it's all worth it. If I didn't get some images, I might scream to myself a little bit, not gonna lie. But I'll feel better once I get to the car and get a snack. But anyway, I'm trucking on, slowly but surely. So this is pretty much the happiest I've ever been to be on a paved road. As I get off the Tunnel Ridge Road, I just gotta make my way back to the Wildcat Trailhead parking. It should be a couple miles, I think. Let me tell you, I have never been so happy to be back to my car after a hike. Oh man, I severely underestimated the mileage of this trip. In fact, give me a second, let me check what the mileage was. So, just checked the iPhone, according to it, it was 15.1 miles. It's a pretty good amount. I mean, it's not a huge amount. I don't know if it's just I've been slacking so much on hiking, or, you know, if it's because of the cold and it was a difficult hike. It was a pretty challenging hike. Regardless, I am feeling it, and I am so happy to be back on my car. The route of going up Rockbridge Road and up 715 was a lot longer than I thought, or at least it felt a lot longer. But anyway, hopefully the images are worth all this. If not, it was a fun day. Even though I'm hurting a little, it was fun, especially now that I'm back at the car. So with that, I'm gonna thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.